Oh, Sanderson everywhere.
Yeah.
You talking about with Sanderson today? Yeah.
Let me know when you see. Kenny in there?
Yeah. I just saw him.
Yeah.
I'm just here.
I know that.
Hey, baby.
Well, he just started recording now. So look at me.
Yeah, it's talking about the budget for Lima cleanup. I actually, there's a lot of stuff Lima cleanup can't come out. Like businesses, shirts and stuff. So I sent her what's the approved budget for this year. I said, well, somebody from that.
After all that, that's it.
Oh, you did good.
Is that good?
He's not good for him. He's got like a higher level. Of course you do.
These things are out there. Yeah. Yeah, no, you didn't get any of that, so. He didn't get the number yet, he did it one time.
Order on Wednesday, February 26th, 2025. Guys done? Please rise for pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. Clerk Medina, roll call, please. First District Councilwoman, Monica Gonzalez.
Here.
Third District Councilman Terrence Hill. Here. Fourth District Councilwoman Stacy Winfield.
Present.
Fifth District Councilman Robert Garcia. Present. Sixth District Councilwoman Gilda Warren. Councilman at Large Dwayne Bransford.
Present.
Councilwoman at Large Vanessa Hernandez Corn.
Present.
Councilman at Large Kenneth Monroe.
Present.
Council President Lenny Francisco.
Present. The first thing we have on the agenda tonight is public hearing. We start with the first ordinance, please.
Ordinance 25-0002, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland. Additional appropriations ordinance for the Department of Park and Recreation for splash pad construction.
We have someone to speak on this ordinance.
Yes.
Good afternoon, good evening, councilwomen and men. This is pretty much an ordinance that has come before you previously in previous years regarding a splash pad at Washington Park. We're asking for the reallocation again this year. We have moved forward. The Board of Public Works is already approving a contractor for design for the actual splash pad. As I mentioned in the previous meeting, there was the only portion that was designed was the demolition. There was some schematics and there was estimates for the previous splash pad design, but there was no design for a contractor to actually bid on. And so in that situation, we failed to get anyone to bid on the project as a whole through an RFP that went out last year. No one bid on it. I asked the consultant and administration that we move forward in a different path by designing the actual splash pad so that we can get somebody to actually bid on the project. We did speak to different cities that have done splash pads and the company that was previously, they've been bought out, but was previously Spear Corporation to kind of guide us through that. And they did mention that the normal way of this going through is they have to design it first, then they go out to bid. And so I'm asking that we approve the reappropriation in time so that when we get the design and we get the bids out, that the money will be there to allocate and we won't waste any time regarding that.
Councilman, proceed.
He's got to say that amount for the public hearing. The amount of the project.
It's $4 million. That is the cost estimate of the project. We don't know what, obviously construction season and, there's different things that kind of come into play with the cost. If it is any more than that, I will, report back to let you all know that that is the case.
Is there anyone from the public that is for or against ordinance 25-0002? If not, next ordinance, please. Thank you.
Ordinance 25-0003. Council Mayor Anthony Copeland. Additional appropriations ordinance for the redevelopment capital fund 4406 West Calumet project.
Do we have someone here to speak on this?
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the council, the clerk's office, and the attorney for the council. I'm here to ask for the additional appropriation for $422,638, which came out of the $1,050,000 meetings before this one. And this is a revolving loan fund. And I would once give a shout out to Councilman Gill, who's been at all the meetings that we've had in terms of revolving. Fantastic job to keep everybody focused and moving forward. And that's what I'm asking for. If I could please have that approved, please.
Is there anyone from the public that is for or against ordinance 25-0003? Let's close the public hearing portion. Let's move on to the regular meeting. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes for the regular scheduled meeting for Wednesday, February 12th, 2025?
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Ransford. Do you have any questions on the motion? Clerk Medina, roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill, abstain, absent. Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia. Yes. Orange,
Yes.
Ransford,
Yes.
Hernandez, Orange,
Yes.
Monroe,
Stay.
Francisco.
Yes. Have any communications from the mayor?
We have none.
Any communications from department heads?
Accounts payable warrants. 021025 CC. 021325 CC. 022625CC and 022625LA.
So move. Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Hill, seconded by Councilwoman Gonzalez to accept the accounts payable warrants. Have any questions on the motion? Clerk Medina, roll call please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia,
No.
Orange,
Yeah.
Ransford,
Yes.
Hernandez, Orange,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Payroll warrant biweekly 021425.
So move. Second, Mr. President.
Motion was made by Councilman Hill, seconded by Councilman Garcia to accept the payroll warrants. Do I have any questions on the motion? Clerk Medina, roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford,
Yes.
Hernandez, Orange,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes. Do we need to vote on the cancellation of warrants or no?
I believe that you should go forward. Just acknowledge it.
So move, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Hill. Can I have a roll call, please?
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford,
Yes.
Hernandez, Orange,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes. Do we have any committee reports? Do we have any board reports? Moving on, is that, any ordinances on first reading?
We have three ordinances on first reading. First ordinance, ordinance 25-0004, sponsored by Mayor Anthony Fogle. An ordinance amending ordinance 05-0003 and 16-0019, being an ordinance authorizing the payment of certain claims in advance of council allowance.
So move in first, second reading, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilwoman Gonzalez. To hear ordinance 25-0004 on second reading. Any questions on the motion, Councilman Garcia?
That to explain since we got people here in our audience.
Third part of that statement, it has a previous ordinance and statute. And basically, last time we came to members for the police and fire pension and death benefits and for title insurance, expenses and closing costs. This time, we'd like to address our meter postage machine. The company, that's what we do to stand for everything, we mail out checks and everything. The company there, they're very strict on the procedures. It's almost, it's kind of, it's hard to stay on time with the requirements. Every time we don't, there's a penalty. One of the goes on my staff, they take penalties because she's responsible, but I've been paying for it. We tried talking to them, they want to accept credit cards, they have their own opinion. So the way we resolve this, if we add this to the prepayment, that's what we're asking for our most of the machine.
Councilwoman Orange?
So, well, nothing else is going to be added to this.
No, and second page of the list of things that you allow, the council would change it. And like I said, the last time we amended it was for the fire pension and But just to give you a heads up, the state did pass a statute last year for advanced payment on construction costs. If you can get substantial savings on material, they will allow you, but that's a different ordinance you guys would have to address that. And they actually allow up to 2 million, so we had a big project, like Cassie said.
But like you said, that's another, let's move on. Councilwoman Orange, please.
Yeah, now, will we know how much this all costs?
Yeah, because you'll get the claims and awards, and I could point out the ones that are for the postage. If you need that.
Councilwoman Hernandez Orange.
Is this, in regards to something that was found in the audit? You said that somebody ended up having to pay some of the back, so is this, like a
Well,
resolution?
The state doesn't allow the city to pay penalties, but we incur penalties. We actually, someone in my office has to pay. And Elsie works on this particular one, and it comes out of certain funds. So I've been paying, I told you, when I found out, I said, no, you shouldn't pay. That's fine. We've been paying.
So if the state doesn't allow us to pay penalties, so you're saying they assess it to the individual that's responsible for paying it? But if they don't allow us to pay it, how are we?
That's why the individual, you can't,
But
they
the
can, they
individual
consider
works,
that
right?
it's something that you should have been able to correct. That's what we're trying to do right now, to correct it. So there are no penalties.
Right, but the individual works for the city. And the state says the city cannot pay fees, so how can we be assessed those fees?
That's the state. Right now, we're having with the state board of accounts. You were at that meeting. They wanted to charge me 78,000 for the state, that pension board did. We finally got that settled, and it took me 2 years to settle that with the state. And I think Melissa came to the meeting. I think she even said she never saw me that angry at that meeting. But it's working with the state. It's really,
No, so,
like if somebody makes a mistake and they pay taxes on something wrong, they, whoever did that mistake has to pay the taxes.
Councilwoman Orange.
So have you been reimbursed back or you can't be?
No, you can't be doing
About how much you, I just want
Yes,
to know how
about-
much you said they are.
and fees,
it. It's about maybe
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Thank you.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill. Yes. Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia. Yes. Hernandez, Orange,
Yes,
Ratchford,
yes,
Monroe,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Francis.
Yes.
Motion suspended.
I make a request, suspend the rules and pass.
Oh, yeah. Oh, did I have to-
All right, second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Hill to suspend the rules. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
yes,
Hill. Yes. Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia. Yes. Orange,
Yes.
or Ratchford,
yes,
Hernandez, or
yes,
Monroe,
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
We'll move on third and final reading, Mr. President.
second,
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Ratchford. Suspend the rules and hear ordinance 25-0004, third and final reading. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
yes,
Hill. Yes. Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia. Yes. Orange,
Yes.
Ratchford,
yes,
Hernandez, Orange,
yes,
Monroe,
Yes.
Francis.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next ordinance, please.
Ordinance 25-0005, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland. Additional appropriations for East Chicago Sanitation Fund 2223 for various landscaping and maintenance contractual services.
second,
Motion was made by Councilman Hill, seconded by Councilwoman Hernandez Orange. The ordinance 25-0005 on second reading. Any questions on the motion? Councilman Garcia.
Mr. Robinson.
Jalen Robinson, Director of Public Works. Today I'm here to speak on ordinance 25005 for additional appropriation for landscape and maintenance services. This is a similar ordinance that we ask for every year, and it's a total of $2 million.
Councilman Garcia.
Yeah, it's a $2 million contract, and Mr. Robinson.
The service for the year is $200 million. I'm sorry, $2 million.
Whoa.
For the whole program. Yeah.
You got bid it out, correct?
No,
Don't even ask, no bids, that's right.
no, because it's contract based, and the city makes the contract, and vendors agree to the rates that the city.
Yeah, it's pretty large. Just trying to find out how you get it, not cheap, I know it ain't cheap, but how to get around the laws of these bidding these out. But, that being said, also why the fire departments are not included on this, because I know the PDs is included. Do you know why?
Yeah, from my understanding, the fire departments, they take care of their landscape and their grass.
That's the reason they gave them. Yeah, but I think the fire department should be included also on these here because
That is the reason, I was chief for 10 years. Fire department takes care of all the maintenance, snow plowing. You don't have
You didn't
janitors.
come up, though.
Traditionally, fire department does everything.
Can you speak
on
into the mic, please?
Fire department basically takes care of, we cut our own grass, we do our own snow removal, we do our own cleaning, we have our own head janitors. Because we live there 24 hours, we take care of it.
Yes,
That's been forever.
yeah, I understand that, but they
Yeah, PD's different, we take, we're both.
both public safety.
No, but like I said, we're there 24 hours and we do. That's all we do.
Any other questions? Councilwoman Orange.
Is there an increase from last year?
Yes, there's a significant increase due to the properties that we obtained. And then also there is some scope of work that we did add regarding flowers and also maintenance of the flowers throughout the city.
Yeah, I don't see why the fire department can't be part of the maintenance. I mean, even though it's been done, whatever, but that amount of money, I'm quite sure we can squeeze them in.
Councilwoman Hernandez Orange.
So there was a concern in regards to what companies are using for fertilization, and I noticed on here that that there wasn't, direct, you didn't talk about it within the contracts of what was fertilized. I'm assuming that's a different company?
Yeah, so basically this additional appropriation is basically what our budget cannot handle. So there's additional funds that will be used towards this program. But those are one of the smaller items that our budget can abstain and we can take care of that. So that's True Green, does all our fertilization.
I just want to make sure that, when you're looking into those products, and if these companies, I didn't know if that was part of it, so, because it wasn't stated on that they were gonna do it, but just that we're using products that, are not hurting the environment. I know I received information in regards to some of the products that we're using, that TruGreen personally uses, I give that to you, just to try to be environmentally friendly.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
I was just wondering, usually, they come to us with a budget for the landscaping for flower beds and on the strike, is this including that?
Yes, this includes all of the amps and the parts of cutting, and then this includes all of the hanging baskets, flowers throughout Main Street, flowers throughout Columbus Drive, Chicago Avenue.
Councilman Hill.
Yeah, this is, gonna continue to help our community look beautiful every summer. I'm all for it. I know one year we prolonged, procrastinated and everything. We didn't have it looking beautiful as we usually have it looking beautiful. So I'm all for it and just keep up the work, the good work that you all currently do. So I'm all in for it.
Councilman, Garcia?
Yeah, just two more things here. I know there's been an increase of at least $500,000. Or a little bit more. Can you give us the other acts that's been added, what other lots that have been added that increased this so much? Second thing, Mr. President, I'd like to hear the president of the fire.
Last year's ags was 1.7, so it did increase 300,000. There's everything attached.
Thank you, Chair.
Yep, no problem.
Kidding. Good evening, Council. Dave Montes, President, Local 55. So, that was correct. In the past, that's how we've always done it. We've always kept up our maintenance. We're always there. But in the past, we've also had 100, 120 people. You know, we're down to 50 people, 54 people. That includes your front office. They're spread thin already. So we have very minimal people. Not to mention, we don't get fertilization. We don't get all the nice trimmings and weed and all that stuff. So all we have to do is cut it. It doesn't look. So, and there's times they weaponize the grass cutting duties on us. You know, the lines don't look right. We gotta get back out there, make the lines look right. Or the edging's not right. Get back out there and make the edge. That's not our job. I mean, we get it. That's our station, but if we're spending $2 million for the whole city to cut grass, make it look beautiful, why not let them help make the station look better? That's not our primary duty. I would love for us to have that, but we're shorthanded already as this, very shorthanded. So it'd be an option just to see how it goes for a year. I mean, if it starts.
Thank you for your statement. Thank you. Councilwoman Winfield?
Yes, my question was also going to be the staffing of the fire department. Did they have the same manpower? The winter is almost gone now, so the snow, but if you're plowing everybody, that fire department, I don't know if y'all have plows, some of y'all shoveling, but at least the plow, that parking lot should be plowed. If that happens,
They have one,
We have a truck.
They have a maintenance guy with a brand new truck.
okay, also for the weeding, are you all getting excited if it's not weeded correctly? Okay, I don't know. I'm just asking, because they do it throughout the city.
You know,
so I'm
they don't
asking,
sign it, they just.
if you all are doing it, you're not professional.
Yeah, we're not, that's not our.
So that's my concern. And I know because you live basically like your home.
And not only that, maintenance, we got, lighting on mowers, all this stuff, and they're always breaking down, they're always constantly maintenance, weed whackers, it's just ridiculous.
So if that happens, can you call Public Works and they come and,
That, I don't know.
Have
We
that
gotta talk to
happened in the
the
past?
chiefs, if they would do that.
or is that something that we can consider?
We have anytime.
If you're gonna speak, you need to come to them, so you can put it on the floor, please.
So the fire department's equipment, there's small duty equipment, and after engines and trucks does fall under the vehicle maintenance policy within our department. So anytime that machinery goes down, we do get it fixed, and we have always lend them extra lawnmowers, and one's down, it's been down for, a couple days.
I just really have a concern. I never heard of fire departments cutting their own grass. And they supposed to be preparing for fires, even though I know, like you said, they live there, a lot of times it's downtime. But the snow removal, that's a concern for me because they're not professionals. And I got your guys up for training and firing, and we need to make sure that everybody's safe. That includes them. So like I said, the winter is basically almost over, but in the future, next year. I would like to ask if you all can consider it.
Councilman Hill?
Yeah, well, Mr. Robinson, Jay, you got a very good point. If you're gonna do it for one area of the city, you might as well include the fire department. Right is right, I'm all about right. So, let's see, can we work that in for our fire department?
Councilwoman Orange?
Now, do other fire departments cut their own grass or is unique to each tribe?
No, it's actually part of the course fire departments. I don't know what the situation is here, but before we do, I don't know the situation with the commands, what's going on. It's the first I heard of it, that the department was asking for public works. Because there was an issue before. Our schedule is basically semi-military. Every day, like Monday, we might be cutting grass from 9 to 10. Every state has their schedules. So we're set up like the military.
I figured out next year.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
I just have one question, Jalen. Are you able to make the decision on whether to include the fire department, or do you have to check with someone else?
That will actually come from administration.
Okay, that's what I was, so I guess my statement would be that if we wanted to see that, that we need to write a letter asking the mayor to consider that, and then whoever wants to sign off on it, sign off on it, because we can't put it, I mean, we can't put it on him to go back and ask, but then or write your own email and ask the administration to consider that.
Councilman Monroe.
Yeah, fire department, where do you guys get the funds for weeding, feeds, seeds and all that?
We don't do none of that. We can, all that stuff, that's not, we just cut.
So nobody feed the grass and
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, they may say, we got Billy, the maintenance guy, he made, but it's one guy. that
you don't know where the money comes from?
Probably within the budget somehow. But I mean, it's not like how they do in the city where they're out there with machines and, you know, it's not like that. It's just certain sections that's noticeable right by, not like the whole back of Central Station or Station 4, but in your district where you got that, it turns yellow fast. So I mean, it's hard. You got 3 people.
You know, so I'm saying for 2 million, I'm quite sure we can take care of these projects.
Councilwoman Hernandez Orange.
I have a question. Mr. Mata, are you involved in the budget and making of the budget when the budget happens for all the day-to-day operations for the police? I mean, for the fire?
In the budget, no.
Okay, so they might have it, we just don't know.
Have what?
Monies for organization, other supplies needed.
No, they have money for the supplies. And they can go to Menards and buy fertilizer,
So
but
there-
not like professional.
But there might be, because you're not sure.
there is money.
You're not part of the budget process, correct?
No, but I know what the
Okay.
budget is.
That was my
As
question.
the union president, I kind of follow all
That
that.
was my question. Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yeah.
Garcia,
No.
Orange,
Yes.
Francis,
Yes.
Hernandez Orange,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Francisco,
Yes. Next ordinance, please.
ordinance 25-0006. Sponsor Mayor Anthony Cope. Additional appropriations ordinance for the general fund 1101, Department of Engineering for the Magoon Avenue Street reconstruction.
We'll move on first reading, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilwoman Gonzalez to hear ordinance 25-0006 on first reading. Any questions on the motion? Councilman Garcia.
I think I crawled down during the day because we didn't get no documentation on this ordinance in our packet. But I figured we just pass on first reading and then they come to that next meeting and they gotta discuss it.
Yeah, I talked to the engineering department, they're supposed to be here, I don't know what happened with Julio. During the meeting, when I started with here, I text and I tried to see where we're at, if I can get a response. I can give you some of the details about what this is about.
You don't have them all the way for the engineer. Councilwoman Gonzalez.
I know, I'm familiar with it, I agree with Councilman Garcia. I know that basically Magoon is gonna get the whole Magoon from Chicago Avenue all the way up to the 41st block. They're redoing the sidewalks, they're redoing the sewers, and it's gonna be a long project. They already started on the 4600 block of Magoon right by the Dollar Tree, so it's gonna be, yeah. And they've already sent letters and everything to the residents, so the residents are aware, but yes, we should wait until Julio comes to give us the rest of the.
And the reason you see people working right now, it's not that, we're not using none of that 10 million, we're using the leftover from the ARP money. Those almost 2.some million, so that's what they're working on.
Yeah, can you make sure he emails the plans to each council?
Yeah, he was supposed to bring the contract and everything, so I don't know that.
I'm gonna send it to us
I will.
today, come to our next meeting.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Winfield.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Hernandez on.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes. Next ordinance, please.
Ordinance 25-0007. Sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland. Appropriations ordinance, Public Health Services Fund 2556.
For the first and second reading, Mr. President.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilwoman Winfield. Hear ordinance 25-0007 on second reading. Any questions on the motion?
Val's here,
I found out before the meeting, Diane Burns apologized, she wouldn't be able to come to the meeting, but I could speak on it. This is the money that was appropriated to the health department from the Indiana State Health Department. And I think they come before you before, there was that intergovernmental agreement with the county. The county came here, if you remember, it was 300-some-thousand. The problem was, by the time Diane was allowed to start spending it, it was supposed to end of the year. Under that 300-something-thousand, she was only able to encumber less than 20,000. So the remaining amount, because the year ended, and we started closing the books, he wasn't able, so she's asking basically to be allowed again by the council to spend the remaining. And just to let you know, we're getting another 600,000 in a few weeks in the same program.
Any other questions? Roll call, please. Roll call, please.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Winfield.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orange.
I guess.
Ratchford.
Yes.
Hernandez on.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Just suspend the rules, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Hill, to suspend the rules on ordinance 25-0007. Any questions?
I have a question.
I just suspend the rules.
Any questions?
That's okay, this is not going to go.
Roll call, please.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Winfield.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Ratchford.
Yes.
Hernandez on.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
We'll move on third and final reading.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Hill. To hear ordinance 25-0007 on third and final reading. Any questions on the motion? Councilwoman Orange.
Now, does she have a list of the things that she's going to spend money on?
The state, before you get the money was sent, actually money came before even passing it. She has submitted a budget to the state has to approve it. So even for the next 600,000, she's already had the budget, the state's approved it.
Yeah, can you have the, her second?
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
I was gonna answer the question. I talked to Anna, and when she initially came to us, she gave us like a color-coded budget. That's still this budget.
It's still not.
Yeah, it's
Even
still.
with the 600.
Yeah, the
No, that's the
600,000,
new one. This is the leftover money. This is the leftover money from last year. So she submitted everything that she submitted to the state already that included in this, was in this budget, but she has a new one coming for this.
Okay.
so she has to come to you for that 600,000.
Yes.
Same thing.
Councilwoman Hernandez Orange.
No, I didn't have it.
I know this.
Don't get scared now, Councilwoman. Oh, roll call, please.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Winfield.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Ratchford.
Yes.
Hernandez on.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes. Three ordinances on second reading.
We have none.
Any ordinances on third reading?
We have two ordinances on third reading. First one is ordinance 25-0002. Sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland. Additional appropriations ordinance for Department of Parks and Recreation for splash pad construction.
So moving third and final reading, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilwoman Winfield. To hear ordinance 25-0002 on third and final reading. Any questions on the motion? Councilwoman Orange.
Mr. Marino. Okay, so just for the audience and for the council people that want to hear, can you give us a timeline? I will send us this thing, but so for public record.
Gotcha. So I did send you an email regarding the timeline that was provided by the consultant on First Group that is dealing with the design and just how we're gonna move along with this. The demo is scheduled to start in March and go on till April. And by then, we hope that the design will be done by April, the actual design itself of the splash pad. But it has to go through Homeland Security, which is a new policy by the state now that requires that all splash pads go through Homeland Security for their approval. That could take anywhere between, I think it's 60 days, it's like 60 to 90 days. They believe that they'll be able to do it within 60 days. So that kind of puts us at like June to start the actual construction. While that is going, what they're recommending us is we could either go out to bid and hope that the splash pad, I mean, the people that do splash pads know what Homeland Security is looking for. So the likelihood that they'll come back with some change or anything like that is unlikely. As a consultant, though, they're recommending that we wait to bid the project until that's clear. However, if we did go out to bid prior to that, we do gain a month. So we would be able to start instead of July construction, we would be able to start in June if everything goes well. By the end of summer, this should be done, completed August. The slide itself, the portion of the kind of the tubes, have a 4 to 6 month waiting period, because they're fabricated specifically for the project. So those are the first things that they're gonna design in the beginning so that we can go out and order the equipment. And so the goal is that by the end of summer, fall, the project will be completed, and with the exception of the tubes, the slides, that will be done. If it can't be done by the fall because they don't get here in time, it will be done in the early spring, but ready, the splash pad will be ready to be used next summer, the summer season.
Councilman Hill.
Yeah, you know what? I have a real problem. When, you took over after Monica got here, Councilman Garcia. I'll come on. I mean, Vanessa, you right. When Vanessa got on the board, you took over. Councilman Garcia gave you all those great accolades, and yet nothing has been done. Until now, so we're going another summer without our residents not having anything to do with water this summertime. And I take heat every time I see somebody, they want to talk about whether this ain't no pool, no splash pads. I think this should have been done, right now, it should have been demolished and almost finished for completion and opening up in June. So this is another summer. I've been on this council now, for my 6th term, and we still don't have nothing to do with our kids in the world. Well, maybe y'all need to put up a temporary pool like they did years ago on Kid Gosh property. When we didn't have a pool in Calumet, they put up a temporary pool. Y'all need to put up something so these kids can swim or play around in some water. I'm a little upset with that, man, because every time you want to passing, I don't know. I don't know if my police should have stayed there or what. Uh-oh, let me go again.
Councilman Garcia.
You know?
Well, I'm gonna give you great accolades again, like. great
Yeah,
accolades.
I'm gonna be the same.
Hold on. I didn't speak when you spoke.
I wasn't
Great,
speaking.
I got the floor. I gave great accolades to Moreno, Val, Jaden, Frank, and President. Everybody get great accolades, but let's not let's not throw mud at nobody, but I got two questions. Is that, any of that part still coming? Is it still any fabrication?
Is any of the what now?
The fabrication is steel?
Steel?
Yeah.
The only thing that's gonna be steel is going to be, well, no, the splash pad, like the pipes that come up will be a steel. Then the majority of it is all aluminum, just because of the water, situation. But the thing that holds the pipes, the tubes, that will be steel, yeah.
Yeah, and one reason I bring it up, that everybody knows these tariffs that Trump is putting down steel and aluminum, so there might be a delay in this project too, so nobody knows until the next couple of months that this Trump attack is gonna be pretty bad. So, and the mayor also agreed with this, what you're doing right now, this project wholeheartedly, correct?
Correct.
Because if the mayor had an issue in the past that not being done, I'm pretty sure he would have brought it up and would have got it done before this, so I want to thank you.
Thank you.
I'm good with it too, but I just think it's.
Councilwoman Hernandez Orange.
I just want to say, so what I have a problem with, and I'm glad that I've been not only on this project, but working for the YMCA. I understand we're building in Hammond 2 pools and the 2 big water slides. They have the project ready. They're starting it 25 and they're going to open it up in 26. So that's done. But what I did learn is that there are not too many companies who are actually going to come and do this. And they actually have a timeline of what they can do. And you might not be on their schedule. So I think the timeline that you presented to us is unrealistic. When I first asked you for the timeline was because my assumption was that there was a conversation with somebody who already had the timeline for this. So we're asking for $4 million, but realistically, we don't know what we're asking for $4 million for. The only good thing in my background, and I'm okay with voting for this because I understand what basically it takes and how much money it is because I had to do research, as well as I understand what capital projects are from a different aspect, from a different venture. But just like we hold accountable every single person who comes up here, we want to see the numbers for health department. We want to see the numbers for public works. We want to see the numbers for, that's what should have been presented. When people come before us, it's give me the paperwork, give me the documentation with the numbers for what it is. That's what is my kind of issue. I'm glad I have the background and knowledge for it. But to say to my colleagues that this is a realistic timeline, that's not correct. My other question was, with the demo, who's gonna be in charge of the demo?
The demo's being handled by Omega. That was the only one thing that there was plans and we went out to bid and they were awarded a contract.
And this is from 2022 or 2021?
In terms of, like,
For the demolition, for the demo.
that's gonna happen this year, 2025.
I understand, but it was previously bidded out.
It was not, it's never been bidded out.
Okay.
Yeah, when I came in, they were gonna start to bid it out and that was all kind of paused. And you know that there's been changes. Keith Selby's not here. Will Allen's not here.
So
So there's been a lot of transition and moving parts. I don't pretend to be an engineer regarding, that, so I'm taking what I have and what I was left and trying to get it, accomplished.
So just FYI, I suggest talking to the engineering department. They're actually the ones who put in the bill for the project for the demo. They also actually bid it out after we ended up giving the money. I got the money from the council. There was a company that actually ended up bidding out and we had the document before us. So prior to, it's not part of this 4 million, so that's great, but correct?
Right.
But I would just go back and check. Bella's making the same face that I'm making.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
I would just like to say that we have to remember when we first started, some of us first started our first term, is when the mayor decided to close the pools. Since then, we've had, I think, 3 to 4 park superintendents come through. I think there was an instant one, and so we're stuck with this. So the basic principle was, he decided that it was too much money, we can't do anymore, and now we're doing this, which is fine, because it needs to be done. But the timeline, because of all of this, started with the decision just to close them all together. So that's why, and I miss Koski, I miss Todd, I miss, Washington Park, I miss all that. And that's where the timeline started. It started 4+ years ago. So I just want to remind everybody, and again, 3 to 4 different park superintendents that have come through this. So that's why it's still fluid, and we just gotta buckle up, and we're praying for the best now. We're just not done.
Well, let me ask you a question. Now, you plan on duplicating the Schutzer Park, correct, the same way?
There's no gap right now in terms of budget wise,
No, I know that, but I mean, down the road, I know we're focused on Washington Park, which is 4 years or what, okay, now we're going, but you're gonna duplicate what you're gonna do at Washington, correct?
I don't actually have that answer right now. I can't say that.
Isn't that up to the mayor though? The mayor, that's the mayor's decision.
Well, and my point is just to say, when you got these designers, and maybe you could design that, so we're not waiting that much longer for that.
There is
You
now,
know,
so
or there's, when you're buying things, maybe you could possibly down the road buy some stuff for that, so then you're
In that-
cost saving, number one, and then you're not waiting forever to get the product for the next.
yeah, in that aspect, the demo plans were done for both Washington and Koski. So, and then if whatever we purchase, if we're gonna duplicate it, it will just be a duplication of what we already got.
Well, I thought maybe if you kind of think ahead and think if that's what you're gonna do, correct, I mean, then you'd save money in demo, you'd save money in buying your material, I mean, because it's been, 4 years for this one and not even started. So, man, I think my grandbaby won't even see that, but, it's the way it's going, but Councilman Ransom.
Yeah, I just have a question. I know you made mention to the fact that you don't pretend to be an engineer, but just for the record, I thought you held the position of engineer.
No, I was city planner.
Okay.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes, and I agree with, Councilwoman, Landis Orange, reference to timeline, and I think the companies gave you that timeline, right? But the timeline, like I said, the supply chain thing is still not fluid yet, especially with the tariffs coming down the line. We don't know what. That's it. The other thing is that, we all want the same thing people stated at hospital. But the mayor has got to initiate. He's the only one that appropriate money from his budget, so it starts with him. So.
Councilwoman Winfield.
Are you saying, I'm going back, are you saying you're the city planner and the park department
No.
director? Or
He used to hold the position.
I was-
what is your title?
I'm the park director here for the city. And I'm the interim planning director right now because the city planner is gone. So between Richard and myself, we're kind of helping keep the department together until they find someone.
That's the issue.
Councilwoman Orange.
Okay, Attorney, I don't remember your name.
Yeah.
What is your name though?
Ron Sturgeon.
Okay, so what, Councilman Garcia, he brought up a good point about the tariffs on steel and everything like that. So they would have to come back for additional money if that steel goes up.
Yeah.
So $4 million they turn into.
Yeah, yes. But he's putting the tariff on all aluminum steel coming from Canada.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Thank you.
Hill,
Yeah.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford. Yes. Hernandez Orange,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes. So,
ordinance 25-0003.
Sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland. Additional appropriations ordinance for redevelopment capital fund 4406, West Calumet.
So move.
Second, Mr. President.
It was made by Councilman Hill, seconded by Councilman Garcia. Your ordinance 25-0003 on third and final reading. Councilman Garcia.
Yes, sir. Can you give us a timeline on this? Like,
No.
Mr. Moreno gave us a timeline.
I wish I could. I'm going to, but right now, we're currently working, myself and Mr. Hill, on one project. It's a duplex. There's been some geotechnical situations that we have to put in place. It's about for that, and I just got that in contract as well. And so we do have a $627,000 a development contract with RC Development. We did the bidding with 3 different organizations. They all lost except for RC Development. So there's no timeline because of this technical. And I do have that information right here, so you can see.
There's gotta be some type of time.
There's no timeline until we get this approved. Once we get this approved, then I could start asking them for timelines. But if I can't.
It's gonna be approved.
Okay, well, then I got the timeline once we get it approved.
But, you know, just like, he didn't get his approval, but he had a timeline.
Right.
So, what's the time?
I have to schedule it with them, because they're the ones who are gonna tell me how far I can go. I want to do it in, I think we said, Mr. Hill, I think he said it was like, was it like 120 days, 90 days, something of that nature, to get this one done. And then we're gonna do another single family home in the same area, which is a 50.
53.
Oh,
Okay, so they gave you some days, 120 days, so you should have established a timeline.
yeah, we're giving them 100.
Okay, you should establish a timeline.
Right.
That's all, Mr. President.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Councilman Hill.
I know the timeline right now, 3 of them are up, so when we get all the 20 residents that Cagney now on tenants, we'll see the structures up. And, okay, I appreciate that. And nothing else, I thank my colleagues for holding on to the first, second reading when I was here last week, so I do applaud that to you guys.
Right.
Thank you for living out one another.
And one more thing, Mr. Hill,
Yes, sir.
the timeline. Go to Marktown. See how many projects I got down there.
It's
So it takes two.
Excuse me,
Takes different
let's
kinds
stick
of
on track. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Gonzalez. Hill,
Absolutely.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia,
Thank you.
Orange,
Yes.
Yes.
Hernandez, Orange,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Franceschi,
Yes. Excuse me, we're in a meeting right now, okay? We can do that outside. Thank you. Any other any resolutions?
we have none.
Is there any old business? Councilwoman Orange.
Mr. Moreno, I just need to ask you a couple of questions. Sunset Park, I explained you they have no lights. Right. And so people have been complaining about how dark it is, and which it is very dark, and the buses are going through there. Do you have any information on when that's going to be fixed and what's going on?
Yeah, we will be working with Public Works. We did assess, we had someone assess, like why lights are not working. And in the box, like the electrical box, the fuses, like there's an issue with the fuses, so like the wiring or something like that. So we'll have to get an electrician out to get that fixed.
Do you know when it will be fixed?
I'm hoping we have something that can be taken care of in a week or two, so.
Okay, also in, her house, the water was gushing out. What happened with that? Is it,
A pipe burst, yes. And so, that happened in the weekend. We had somebody shut it off. Well, I called Lena, I think it was on Sunday morning to shut off the. Well,
Saturday.
it was Saturday, that's what it was, sorry.
So they don't cut the water off in, places like that during before?
So they do, but there's pipes also, this was coming from inside. So fortunately, I guess after the elections, they requested that the water be turned on, and it just wasn't, winterized after the fact.
Who's responsible for that?
Winterization schedule is usually Public Works, but again, we weren't even gonna use that site for elections because you know, it's not a site that we were gonna use at that time, but there was a request to get it, to have it used, and that the bathrooms be working. So that's when we decided to get it unwinterized.
But we always use the site. Okay.
No, I know, but when I had, Mr. Garcia, I guess, sent out a request of like what size, and I said, I don't know if we're gonna be able to use that this year. And it was kind of a conversation of like, well, we really need it, and we've always used it. And so that's when the decision was made, and we'll keep it available.
Any other old business? Councilwoman Winfield.
Concerning that, I remember when they called Wayne, that was Saturday, it was not the outhouse, it was the garage. I have a picture of the water, took the picture and called Wayne. The water was gushing out, the garage door was open, was up a little. She called Jalen out to come out, turn the water off. The water had been running for a while, it was all in the basketball court, but it was in the street. So that was early Saturday, but it wasn't in the hot house, it was coming out of the garage.
But it was coming out, it was so fast, you didn't know where it was coming from.
Yes, I actually pulled it up and it was pushing and stuff.
I thought it was from the hot house, so
Somebody
it's like,
opened the garage, looked like. That's what it-
Any other old business?
Yeah,
Councilman Hill.
something that's again been overlooked, and that's the Martin Luther King Center. So what's going on with that project?
so that's originally, it was only a small, it was gonna be a small, you know, remove the heater, replace it, boilers are out. But my recommendation to the mayor is that we have to overhaul that whole community center. It's in disrepair. There's structural damage. Again, I'm not an engineer, but I know a little bit of construction and know that when I see cracks in the foundation where the gymnasium is, I have to question whether this is structurally sound now or not. And so, you know, the game room, all the carpet is in disarray, the paint, I mean, we're talking now in terms, I have a list of like all the items that need to be fixed comprehensively to come up with a budget that we feel is gonna be enough to fully overhaul the center. Because piecemealing it or band-aiding it is not gonna work.
Right, the previous, park superintendent before Monica, she went in, oh, dang, man, you wanna move down there? She went and painted the buildings and did all this, so evidently she didn't see this, or she passed it up.
Well, I mean, I think the mistake sometimes we make is that we're park superintendents. We don't mean to be, we're not architects, we're not engineers, so like when we're going there and looking at the site, if I didn't have any construction background, I'd just say, okay, need some paint, there's some cracks, so let me just clean up some motor, you know, stuff like that, get it done. And so I'm thinking that that's it, that's all needs to be done, but if you have the expertise in that, they will tell you, hey, no, this is a lot more of a serious issue. And so I don't wanna put money, well, I'm not recommending to put money into a Band-Aid fix when I really think that whole place needs to be overhauled, even including the outside.
What's the timeline on that?
Well, I'm hoping that in a month we'll have that budget set and what the cost is. And then we'll have to go out to bid on the separate projects to see where we come in.
A lot of heat on that too.
Any other old business? Moving on to new business. Councilwoman Winfield.
Thank you.
Yes, I wasn't at the last meeting, and I normally bring up Black History Month every year. And my understanding, it didn't come up, so what I did every year, I geared toward different people. This year I geared toward 65 Black women of excellence from East Chicago. And I did a video, and I asked some of my colleagues, so even while you sit here, if you think of a name or two, call out of Black women in our city of East Chicago. And we'll start off with Monica. According, even with my video, Councilwoman Orange is a part of the video. If you go on my page, you'll see it. And it has 1.4 views. The video has been shared. So we start with
So the two women that I want to bring up, because she focused on Black women, were LaTanya Pollard and Bridget Pettis. And I think it's really important that young girls have women to look up to, because when you play sports and when you're involved in activities, it keeps you out of trouble, but it also gives you self-esteem to move forward. And I think, these two women, need to be recognized. I know Tanya Pollard is gonna be recognized, very soon. And Bridget, Bridget's just up here in Chicago, she's here in Arizona, and, they just deserve their recognition. Thank you.
Oh, my daughter, Tarika Hill Boone, I think she should, be part of this. She does a lot for the young community, especially in schools and honoring and helping them get scholarships so they can further their education. My colleague Gilda should be one, she's been around a long time. She's been doing a lot of great things around here. And, Kim Jackson, who also was a prominent basketball player back in the '70s, along with Tanya Pollard, winning those championships. And her other teammate, Hilda Tauber, she should also be part of that.
Oh, I'm gonna go with, I don't know if she's on the video or not, but one of Gilda's predecessors, that Rose. Ms. Parker, so her, American, Councilwoman.
And I would go with, Linda Randolph. Linda is, about education. She has, gone to Indianapolis to fight for, kids in school. She's mentored and also helped with, the school systems as they come on board after the elected school board to tell people what they should be doing, and helping superintendents that are new, make sure that they are doing the right thing and that they are getting certified by the state. So I just think Linda Randolph is a very good person to recognize.
Yes, and for me, I don't have a particular name, but I would honor Mary Morris Leonard. I'm sure she's on that list. I knew her personally, and again, I've never had anyone say anything positive, great things about her and her impact on the community, being the first Black female clerk in the city. But I have a poem by Langston Hughes. It is called "I Am a Darker Brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody dare to say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America."
I also received a poem from my colleague to read, but first I wanted to just, I don't know if she was on your, video, but I wanted to acknowledge Marie Baker, who is currently working as an aide for the city of East Chicago, for school city of East Chicago at 93 years old. She was a big push in the, aides and the bus drivers to receive union status. And she is looked upon as someone who has helped many youth in the city of East Chicago. So I wanted to recognize her, as well as one of the people that I looked up to being in the basketball world was Monica Maxwell, who has broken many records and has was a great athletic director underneath as a boss. She was my boss. So the poem that our colleague wanted me to read is "Phenomenal Woman." Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in my reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I am woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. I walk into a room, just as cool as you please, and to a man, the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flesh of my teeth, the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. I am woman, phenomenally. phenomenal woman, that's me. The portion, and this is by Maya Angelou.
Maybe they didn't think I was coming, I ain't getting no poem. I didn't get anything, I ain't been here for a while. No, I got some, but I ain't been here for a while, so I just didn't give me a sheet. Everybody saying these great poems and everything. I want to talk about Delmarie Williams, first black judge, and then also Sonia Moore, second black in the city of Chicago. Thank you.
Mr. Monroe, wasn't here, he was gonna be here.
Some of the pops that is, Diane Burns.
Yeah.
I think she's always been there for the community, always one step ahead on, just to make sure that things are running right. Don't forget this, Councilwoman Warren, she's always been there for me. But thank you. Right.
And then
Any other business? I'm sorry.
I would like to close with, my grandmother always stand on her shoulders. Frida Dawkins, she was the first African-American female department head in the city of East Chicago and the first African-American human rights director. After her passing, my mother took her seat. And she was the first, black director in the health administration in the city of East Chicago. And so we talk about Maya Angelou, I just wanted to read this and then we'll be finished. Still I rise. You may write me down in history. This goes to the women. With your bitter, twisted lies. You may try me in very dirt, but still like dust I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you best with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like the moons and the suns, with certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Do you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soul cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I got minds, digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words and you may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of huts of history shame, I rise. Up from the past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I am a black ocean, leaping and wide. Welling and swelling, I bear in tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into the daybreak that's wondrous clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that the ancestors gave, I am dream and the hope of slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
Councilwoman Burns.
Yes, Attorney, I would like, for, Governor to be constructive, about the fact that the governor is, talking about, doing away with anything for special education, anything with autism. He has that on, that's pushing that as a bill. That's, some of the most vulnerable people in our community. And for him to take funds away from the special ed and for autism, I think is a shame. And I would like to see if my colleagues will sign that whenever that letter's ready. So then we can send that to him.
I'll get that.
Thank you.
You make sure you, make sure every councilperson's on. Councilman Garcia.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we, remember that Kenny's, mother-in-law passed away last week. So I think it's condolences.
Yes, we're still in new business. Councilwoman Gonzalez.
I just wanted to congratulate, I know you not here, our own council attorney, Angela Jones, for winning a case that started off, I guess, with a $100,000 settlement that was the first offer. And they ended up with $8.1 million. and she won that case. So I just want to congratulate her, even though she's not here, well deserved break for her.
Is there any other new business?
I'm gonna ask Councilman Monroe, would you speak on Dominique Murphy? The history made in the city of East Chicago?
Oh, yeah. Dominique, plays on the Central High School basketball varsity team. And he, just surpassed Etwan Moore as the scoring title of Central High School. And he haven't decided what school he's going to, but he's gonna represent us very well. Huh? Yes, yes, that would be very well.
Attorney, can you also make sure you write a letter from the council to Dominique? Congratulating him.
Yes.
I saw that. What's Dominiqu's last name? Murphy.
And if we can get it, Friday's the last game where we gonna honor him, and I'd like to, good thing with so much.
Yeah.
I'd like to present that from the council.
Sounds really good, Councilman.
Yes. Thank you.
Is there any other new business? Moving on to public expression. Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, motion.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Hill. Then I roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
Yeah.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia, Orange,
Yes.
Ratchford,
Yeah.
Hernandez Orange.
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Franceschi.
Yes. Good night.
No, I haven't. You know what? And then I'll be out with, I'll be in Arizona for it.
Well, y'all just, y'all have me.
I went to the sectional, dinner.
Yes.
So much less, it's gonna get there, so I'm over here. Earl. Thank you.
I've been waiting, so I can stop.
Okay.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, text go.
Time.